In the video I will be talking about 8 ways the Switch 2 could impact Splatoon, 5 ways in particular the Switch 2 could affect Splatoon 4. But before getting into that, make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. And yeah, I do want to start off with a quick channel update. So February 2021 is when Splatoon 3 did get revealed, which means I have been covering the game for nearly 4 years now, and yeah, I am coming towards the end of my coverage because there's not really a lot to talk about for Splatoon 3 anymore. Yeah, in order for this channel not to be dead and quiet, then I will be sort of moving on to covering other Nintendo games like what I have done over the past couple of years, where I have covered Super Mario Party Jamboree, Mario Wonder, Mario and Luigi, Luigi's Mansion 2, just to name a few other games I have covered alongside Splatoon. But as soon as a brand new Splatoon game gets announced, then of course I will be covering it on the channel. It's just that I'm not really expecting anything new to come out this year. So yeah, pretty much I will be covering other games until a new Splatoon does come out. I still got a few more videos coming up, but yeah, you might not be seeing that many more videos in terms of Splatoon on the channel. I will be making general Switch 2 videos to tide me over until we do get a Splatoon announcement of some sort. So now that is out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I did pretty much list 8 ways the Switch 2 will affect Splatoon. Some of these are obvious, some of these are less obvious, but let's just kick off with an obvious one, and that is that the Switch 2 will be getting exclusive Splatoon games. So I feel like Splatoon 4, whenever that will be coming out, that will be exclusive to the Switch 2. It will not be coming out for the Switch we currently own right now. It will be a Switch 2 exclusive, and I feel like you can throw in spin-off games as well. I feel like they will be exclusive to the Switch 2 as well. So if you want to play more Splatoon, then you best start saving up now for a Switch 2. So yeah, that is just an obvious way to start off this video. Moving on to a couple of less obvious ways the Switch 2 could impact Splatoon. So pretty much I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like we will see more expensive games, where pretty much on the PS5, Xbox Series X, games for the most part cost $70 or £70. And yeah, pretty much Splatoon has always cost like £45 or $60 in America. And yeah, we have seen a $70 game from Nintendo in terms of Tears of the Kingdom. And I feel like, unfortunately, with the Switch 2, it will give Nintendo the excuse to increase the price of their games to $70 or whatever the equivalent is in the UK. I feel like, unfortunately, Splatoon 4 will cost $70. And to throw in another added expense, I feel like the Switch online service, I feel like we will see a price increase for the base tier. Currently it is $20 or £18, and yeah, the more expensive tier is more than that for, you know, you're getting N64 games alongside of that. But I feel like Nintendo will increase the base tier price. So yeah, I feel like not only the base game will be more expensive whenever Splatoon 4 does come out, I feel like it will be costing $70, but I feel like in order to play the main part of the game, the multiplayer, I feel like the price for a year subscription will go up as well, because Nintendo haven't increased the price of the online service since it did become a paid service in 2018. And with the launch of a brand new system, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity. I say perfect for them. You might have just heard my ankle cracking there, must apologise about that. But yeah, this is a perfect way for them to increase the price of not only the games but also the online service as well. So yeah, we're going to have to ship out for a new system to play more Splatoon games, but also the games themselves might become more expensive, unfortunately. So that is just something to bear in mind. So that is 3 ways I've already covered just there. The 4th way is pretty much in the trailer. We did see what seems to be Nintendo teasing mouse-like controls with the new Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons a little bit bigger this time around, and it does seem to be like an optical sensor or an IR sensor at the bottom of the Joy-Con, and we got to see it moving along like a mouse. So maybe with Splatoon 4 or a spin-off game, maybe we could see mouse-like controls, and this will be a massive sort of change in terms of the gameplay, because pretty much I can see a situation where if people get really good at using this, then chargers are going to be dominating the gameplay in terms of the meta, long range weapons as well. I'm going to be honest and say that I do have my fears about the gameplay being a little bit too sweaty, because I have played PC games myself. I've played CSGO back in the day, and yeah, it was just a little bit too sweaty for my liking, and I do like the more casual aspect of Splatoon, or you could say Splatoon 3. It's sort of leaning away from that casual aspect, and I do fear that if mouse-like controls are supported with Splatoon 4, then we could see a situation where it does become less casual, and yeah, just fear that mouse-like controls will dominate. But on the other hand to that, I can see this being like a skill gap sort of thing, where pretty much it will take a while to get used to, because I can see it being a little bit awkward to use, where pretty much you got like your thumb on your stick, and then pretty much you have to move your thumb all the way down to use all of the buttons. I can see that being a little bit awkward to use with the Joy-Con being on the side. I don't know, maybe it could have got that, completely wrong. But yeah, maybe it will take a while to get used to, but I do have my fears that mouse-like controls will dominate Splatoon 4 if it is supported, and it will dictate what weapons will do well depending on how balanced the game is. So yeah, I don't really want to see this in Splatoon 4, but then again, if this does mean more players being able to play Splatoon, because I know a lot of people don't really like using gyro controls, they don't feel comfortable using gyro controls, so if they feel comfortable using mouse-like controls, then all power to them. And yeah, talking about controls as well, I've seen barely anybody talking about the Switch 2 Pro controller. I feel like we will be getting a brand new Pro controller, and we could see a situation where that Pro controller, it will have a headphone jack, hopefully we'll have analog triggers, and I'm hoping for better haptics. I'm hoping for haptics kind of like what the DualSense does have on the PS5. So yeah, maybe we could see in that sort of situation where a Switch 2 Pro controller does have better haptics for Splatoon, that could work really well. Although most people will turn it off for multiplayer. For single player, that will be really cool, and yeah, I definitely really want to see this happen. I feel like they could do some really cool things with the ink, with better haptics, with Splatoon 4, with a better Switch 2 Pro controller. We got to see Mario Kart in the Switch 2 reveal trailer, and it does seem to be supporting bigger lobbies, where pretty much it does seem to be supporting 24 racers. It's kind of got me thinking what Nintendo could do with Splatoon on the Switch 2, with it being more powerful than the Switch. Could we see bigger lobbies in Splatoon? Could we see 5v5? Could we see 6v6? I'm going to be honest and say I do like 4v4. I feel like the pace of the game is perfect with the amount of players that we do have right now. I don't really like bigger player lobbies. I've played Ground War in Call of Duty, and yeah, I didn't really like that. It was just way too much stuff happening all at once. So it's kind of got me thinking maybe we could see modes where pretty much it's like Turf War Deluxe, but instead of 4 versus 4, that 4 versus 4 is still in there. But Turf War Deluxe, it will be 5 versus 5 or 6 versus 6, 7 versus 7, or however many players Nintendo want to support. Maybe in Tricolor, instead of 3 teams of 2 players, maybe we could see 3 teams of 4 players, or maybe we could see 4 teams of 3 players, or something like that. But that wouldn't be Tricolor anymore, it would be Quad Battle, whatever they would call it. But yeah, maybe we could see bigger lobbies in terms of the matches, in terms of the gameplay itself. Maybe the maps could be a lot bigger as well, but I wouldn't be a fan of that. Maybe we could see a situation, because the Switch 2 is more powerful, instead of bigger maps, maybe we could have more interactive elements on the map size that we do have right now. Maybe more destructible sort of situations. I don't know, that's just me speculating. But yeah, the power of the Switch 2, it could mean bigger lobbies, it could mean bigger maps, it could mean more interactive maps. Talking about the power of the Switch 2, we do know that we will be getting Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 supported on the Switch 2 through backwards compatibility. maybe with more power, maybe we could see a backwards compatibility sort of boost in terms of the graphics, and in terms of in certain situations the frame rate does dip a little bit in Salmon Run on Splatoon 3. Maybe we could see a smooth experience. And yeah, pretty much in the second and third game there is a dynamic resolution situation happening where pretty much the game does lower its resolution depending on what is happening on screen. But yeah, maybe with the Switch 2, maybe the resolution would stay at its target resolution instead of like dipping to like compensate whatever is happening on screen to sort of maintain a stable frame rate. Maybe we could see better looking Splatoon 2 and 3 and a more stable second and third game as well with backwards compatibility on the Switch 2. Maybe that could bring in more players as well, but on the flip side to that, with a brand new system, I feel like people will just play the exclusive games and they will not go back to the third and second game, especially the second game. But yeah, there is like speculation that yeah, because maybe Splatoon 4 could be many years away, maybe Nintendo could release updates for Splatoon 3. Maybe we could get third kits for the third game to tie into the Switch 2 coming out. But I'm going to be honest and say that I feel like Nintendo's way to try and bring people back to the third game is through Splatfest, the reruns that we will be getting. We will be getting, probably by the time the Switch 2 does come out, there will probably only be one left, and that is Summer Nights. So I feel like that is Nintendo's way to try and bring people back. I don't feel like we will get third kits, but if we do get more updates, then yeah, that could bring in more players to Splatoon 3. So say like if you're not going to be picking up a Switch 2 anytime soon, if we do get more players, then yeah, that will be only a good thing. But then again, if they have like better graphics, better frame rates in terms of Salmon Run, it's not really a problem because that is a co-op mode, and for the most part multiplayer is 60 frames per second. But maybe Switch 2 players could have better graphics, better frame rates, and that could tell its part in terms of the multiplayer. But yeah, that wraps up everything I need to talk about in the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will see you in another video soon.